What's up, beautiful people? My name is Lou, and today we're going to talk about what I did to pass LPI Linux Essentials and what you can do to pass it as well. So let's talk about it. So I'm not going to get into what the cert is. Clearly, if you clicked on the video, then you know what the cert is because you're preparing for the exam and you want to see how other people pass it so that way you can pass it. So first things first, congrats for even getting to this point because apparently Linux is very well sought after. So the fact that you're pursuing it, good on you. So one of the first things that I did was I watched the full entire playlist by Shawn on YouTube. I'll link it in the description. It's basically his LPI Linux Essentials exam prep. It has like a bright blue thing on the front of it. I'll probably just put a picture so that way you know what you're looking for. And then of course, again, like I said, I'll link it in the description so you can just click on it. One thing I will say about the videos, he's going to say certain parts are not relevant for the exam. That's not true. You have to watch the entire video from start to finish, even if he says, oh, well, you don't really need this part. You do need that part because that part is also testable. So whenever he says, hey, you don't need it, ignore it and just continue to watch it. What I did was I watched all the videos. I kind of like highlighted the ones that were like, this one seems like a lot. Like the one that I kind of kept watching over and over again was the zip packages. So I feel like if there's certain parts where you didn't pick up on it the first time he explained it, I would suggest watching it over and over until you actually understand the concept. So if, you know, maybe like an hour or two, or maybe the next day you ask yourself, okay, well, how do I compress this file with using, you know, XZ? Well, the way that I do it is a capital J. So I feel like unless you're able to watch the videos and then maybe like a day or two, kind of remember that information and be like, okay, well, what does cat do? Okay, cat views the files of whatever thing you're trying to look for, like you're looking into. So like say if you have a file called dog and dog has a lot of ingredients in there and then you want to see it, you do cat space dog and then it will show you everything inside. If you're not able to recall that, then I don't really think you should try to schedule your exam or test because you need to know like not everything, but you need to have a solid foundation before taking the test. So if you don't know what the grep command does, or like cat sort, you know, -- help or -h or like the man page, like you kind of need to know those things. Or like, you know, sudo or su, like what does those things do? Or how to make, you know, a directory, how to delete a directory, or how to move things or how to change things. Like those all matter. So, you know, you can watch the videos, but if you feel like, I watched it, it's kind of vague in my mind, like I wouldn't really suggest doing that. So yeah, that was pretty much number one. Shawn, watch the entire thing. Even if he says not to, it's good for you. Just do it. Number two is Quizlet. So there's a Quizlet that has questions that will help you kind of solidify those kind of ideas. Like, you know, what does cat do? What does grep do? You know, you have to know things of like, what is a /proc directory? It runs processes in there. Like you have to know what those are too. So the Quizlet questions kind of, you know, pounded more of that knowledge into me because it's like, okay, well, I've seen Shawn do it and then I'm seeing a question that's similar to what he was talking about. Okay, I understand that is this and this. And I would keep doing that until you kind of like are able to pass the Quizlet without just remembering what the answer is, but you're really understanding like, okay, this is the answer because X, Y, and Z. And another thing, if you don't know why the answer is the answer, just Google it. Like, it's one thing to get the answer right because you know that's the answer for that particular question that you're going to keep seeing, but it's another thing to understand why that answer is the answer. So those are things that I feel like, you know, you have to do on your part to sit there and be like, okay, well, I don't know this question, Google it. So that was number two. Number three is the Linux Essentials Netacad. It's with Cisco. It's this like 70-hour course thing that you can do completely free. All you have to do is sign up for it, but it takes you through step by step of like a lab to do where you actually are given like a little terminal and it'll tell you things on the left of like, hey, this is what command you can type out. And it's like a beginner's course, like very, very hefty. It goes really deep into it. I didn't get that far, honestly, because I was like, dang, this is time consuming. And I was watching Shawn, you know, and doing my own things while trying to do this lab. And it just didn't work out for me. But it may work out for you. If you have the time to dedicate to it, this might also be the thing you need to kind of push you up there and give you that confidence to know like, okay, yeah, I do know these commands. Yeah, I do know what I'm talking about. Huge resource that I recommend using if you have the time to do so. I'll also link it in the description. And those were pretty much all three things that I did. So I studied for a week. The week me being, you know, watching all those videos, because I'm not gonna lie, like I didn't have time to just sit there and binge. And plus, you shouldn't sit there and binge. You should watch, you know, a group of videos a day, so that way you're like giving yourself time to like watch a batch of videos. The next day you kind of recap, and if you're able to like recap what you what you watched, then you go on to the next one. And that's kind of what I did. Like, I'd watch maybe like 3 videos or 4 videos, you know, for example, on Monday. Came Tuesday, if I was able to recall that information and explain it to myself and it made sense and it was correct, I'd watch the next batch of videos, and I'd keep doing it that way until, you know, of course I got to like the conversions and the compression videos, and I was like, okay, well, that's something I'm gonna have to like watch one more time to kind of lock it in. And outside of that, the exam was pretty straightforward. It's 40 questions. You get about an hour. Well, not about an hour, you get an hour to do it. And the questions weren't like Security Plus where it's like a whole essay. It was just straightforward, like, what does this do? Like, it was pretty straightforward. It was no fluff. You know, you just saw the question, you saw the answers, and you proceeded on like that. The proctoring wasn't bad. The only thing about that was like, they kept interrupting my exam to be like, oh, your camera's not in the middle, you have to move it. And I'm just like, my camera is in the middle. Because before I started my exam, you told me to move my camera, and I moved it to where you wanted it to. But then, like, midway through my exam, when I'm locked in, they're like, hey, you need to move your camera again. And I'm like, what the f? Like, I don't know what that was about. Do you guys have any questions in particular that you want to know? I literally just took the exam. I passed. And yeah, I got my cert and everything. And this cert never expires. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Good luck to you on your exam. Hopefully you come back and you be like, yo, dude, I passed. I did what you said. Because I know for me, if I'm looking for a way to study for an exam, I go to other people and see what they did to study for the exam and prepare for it. And then if that works for me, then it's like, okay, cool. Like, thanks, good looks for what you did. Because not every method is the same. And some people may have better methods than me or better resource materials that are free that I don't know. So I'd rather just share my knowledge. So that way, if you're trying to take the exam, you know, you have a place to start. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. As always, don't forget to water your garden. It's important. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.